Bless you. One, two, three. One, two, three. Let's see. Default. Let's do a microphone there. I think that's probably better.
When you first join up with Solvaris, you'll be able to log into your own personal Solvaris site. Site, and sorry I got out of there. Hit discover. It's going to take you into that page. You get all the information. You just scroll down here to where it says join now and log in. And I don't know how much of this is going to change, Micah. You can chime in if there's going to be major changes to this. But right now, you're going to click access cross-checking dashboard. It's going to take you right into the now site registration screen. And keep in mind, you're actually getting set up with your own version of the account, so you're not sharing anything with Solvaris. It's your account. It's just going through Solvaris. So you can see. You're going to fill out the registration, click sign up. It'll automatically get you access to the software, and then it's going to give you a couple of other user screens just to put your company information in. And so go ahead and finish that. Then you'll be able to log in, and you'll come to your dashboard. Solvaris now is your account. It's just going through Solvaris. So it's available. You can fill out the registration, click sign up. It'll automatically get you access to the software, and then it's going to give you a couple of other user screens just to put your company information in. And so go ahead and finish that. Then you'll be able to log in, and you'll come to your dashboard. Solvaris now is your account. It's just going through Solvaris. So it's available. You can fill out the registration, click sign up. It'll automatically get you access to the software, and then it's going to give you a couple of other user screens just to put your company information in. List. So if I say barbers, and I can save it, now I can go back to my prospects tab, which is going to be where I can edit my search criteria. I can search for where, let's just say I'm going to do barbers in Vancouver, and I'm going to say Washington. All right, and then I'm going to change this to barbers. And then I'm going to say barbers who like, what's something? I could say martial arts, but I probably won't get it. I'll just search barbers. Right here it says interests and skills. So I can search barbers, but I can search any type of interest or skills that other people may have. And I want to find something that's common with what I have, what I enjoy. So when I do reach out to contact them, I can use that as a conversation starter rather than just coming straight out and saying, hey, I've got this cool stuff I want to sell you. That will turn people off. Now in this list, you can see as I scroll down here, now I can find barbers. So then anybody that I pull in, minimize this window again, anybody I pull in when I hit get prospect will go into the barbers list. So I just clicked get prospects and launch sales flow. That's going to pull in my first contact. This one, I guess we don't have any barbers in. Let me see if I can change this. Barber shop. Let's try that.
So Steve, look over here and
yes,
I see available prospects. It says, it's Infinity. Never mind.
Yep, it's Infinity. So let me take out Vancouver, and I'm going to search barbershop in Washington.
Since it says infinity, let me share something. So right now, when you join, you get 100 prospects the first month, and then as long as you refer one person a month, you continue to get them each month after that. But if you refer 3 people in one calendar month, you get unlimited or infinity available to these leads. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. So I just searched for Washington State instead of Vancouver, and I clicked get the prospect. It's going to pull up my first prospect here. I can view the candidate or the contact, and it's going to give me all this personal information. So these are things that I can start a discussion with. And then also here's some skills. So you can look at that. I can click analyze the personality, and that's kind of a unique feature. You have limited amount of people that you can do that with, but what it'll do, it'll take their interests and their skills, and it'll give you a strategy for making the initial contact with them, which is pretty. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Since we're having that convention June 3rd in Las Vegas, there's 4,000 realtors in Las Vegas, and I would like you to do a search, whether it's for landscapers or just any business or something in Las Vegas, because I'm planning having 10,000 people there. I probably have 1,000 realtors from the Las Vegas area that don't know much about Silveris. A lot of these people that join, and they will, we're going to be handing those, the sponsor of those people that we get to Las Vegas, we're going to be given to the members that are, active members that are building a business with Silveris. So go ahead and do real estate in Las Vegas or something like it.
Okay. I've got real estate. I've got real estate marketing. I'd probably go with real estate marketing. Okay. Both genders. Advanced targeting. I can select a specific company if I want to search for EXP or whatever large companies they have down in Las Vegas. I'm going to go here in industry, and I bet I can get more different. That's just real estate. Okay. Preferred contact method. If you're reaching out like in LinkedIn or some type of social media, you can use this to only pull up prospects that have a LinkedIn address. If you're using email, typically everybody has an email. You're going to get more. But if you're just targeting social media, do that. Age groups, if you want to pick the age groups. And again, I'll put here, I think I have a real estate one in here. We'll put them in here. I did younger realtors on that search. So let's go ahead and get prospect now. Now, one thing this doesn't have is some kind of number that shows you how many people actually meet that criteria. Maybe someday they'll have it, but right now they'll just pull people up. All right, so here's our first contact. We can view it. You don't need to view it. I typically skip that step, but you can see all their interests and so forth in here. Bunch of skills for this person. All right, from here, I'm just going to click Launch Sales Flow. It's going to pull up that contact in here. I click Next, and I'm going to say LinkedIn, because that's typically how I do it. So I'll go LinkedIn. Here's some pre-written messages that Now Site's put in there. They've tested it, and they put them in there if they're successful or very effective. So you can scroll through those to reach out, or in this area here, you can upload your own messages and then pick the ones you want for that.
And I recommend everybody start working this for the Las Vegas area so that you can develop a relationship. And since you do one at a time, then get them on a drip campaign. And in addition to maybe 15, 20 people that you bring with you from different parts around the country, you could have 100 people that are from Las Vegas and these guests from Las Vegas that don't have to pay anything. We're going to give them a code they can enter for free.
Yeah. Now, excuse me. One neat thing that you could do here is when you write your message, you can insert a link. And again, you could put that link in your templates as well. But if I insert a link and hit attachment, I can upload different documents, whether it's an image, whether it's a video link or a link to the website. I can insert those, and let's just say sales flow. Let's say I'll put Senior Solution link here. I'll add the link. Okay. It actually won't look like that when it sends out. It'll have a different look that is not so much code looking. But what happens is when I send this out and they read through the message, if they click the link, it will notify me on my cell phone. It'll give me a text saying somebody clicked the link. It'll tell you who it was. And that way you know you have a really hot prospect, and it's a very effective time then just to call them up and say, hey, I noticed you clicked on this. And, did you have any questions and everything I help you with? So that's a way to really maximize the use of this tool rather than waiting, the next day you finally get a message back from them. Because this person may never send you a message. They may never reply. But the fact that they clicked on that link tells you, hey, this is someone that has at least some level of interest that I want to follow up on.
Hey, Steve,
All right. Now, yes, sir. Yeah.
Is that the feature that tracks the link clicks? Is that built in, or is that something that you have to set up?
You're going to set it up with the integration. So when you go, and I don't want to do that right yet, I can add that later, but you'll go into this little thing here at the bottom where you can go into your settings, and there's a notifications menu. So you can say, hey, I want email notifications or text notifications. That's where you'll set that up.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay. Now, if I were to select email from that previous screen to send my messages, my email is integrated with this, and everybody can do it. It can be a Gmail account, something like that. It will send that message on your behalf, so it'll do it right from this software. The social media, it's not integrated with social media, but what it does do is, since I select LinkedIn, and when I click send, it's not sending the message, but it is copying that message to my clipboard. So then on this step where it says go to LinkedIn, it'll open up the contacts profile. I don't have to go to my profile search. It'll pull right up, goes here to Michael. I'll hit send me a message. Now, you'll get this a lot. So I don't have a pro version or anything. So I just click more and I'll click connect. I choose other and then connect, and it says add a note. So I can click here, and then all I have to do is paste it. There's the link in there. You see how the link looks a little bit different than what I showed you before? And there's the note, and I would click send. I'm not going to click send because it'll confuse this person. But if I click send, boom, it's done. Then I just go back to Now Site. Did it send successfully? Yes. And then I can schedule a follow-up immediately. So I can say here on the 17th, I want to do a follow-up. I can select what my goal is. Maybe it's still to connect with that person. I can add my own notes, change the time, and then click book a Mano. And then you just repeat the process. So it goes right into the next step. Right there. Click do it again, and you can pull up another prospect. All right.
Hey Steve.
Yes,
our guest speaker that is on a time frame said he is in now. And so I want everybody to know that everything that Steve has said, he is in the portal training. There's videos of him, and he's totally accessible. And Steve Sherlock mentioned to me that he would like a little bit of your help. And so, Steve, would you please write Sherlock's phone number down? 919-366-8995.
Sure. Is Sherlock able to put that? You'll have to give that, type that into the chat if you would, Mark, while Eddie's doing his presentation.
Sure, I'll text it to you. Okay, let me look for Ed. Okay, thank you, Sherlock. Let me look for Eddie here. It's an iPhone. I'm going to spend just another 30 seconds on this, and then we'll move on. I don't see you, Eddie.
Eddie's in there, but Eddie's muted right now. So if you can hit the unmute there, Eddie.
There he is. Eddie, unmute. Eddie?
How about that, guys?
Okay, Eddie, let me properly introduce you, okay?
Please, thank you.
Okay, and we appreciate you taking your time to join us while you're Christmas shopping with your family.
Thank you.
I met him. We spent over an hour on the phone. There were several of us officers in getting to know Eddie, and we were impressed. And I don't have it all memorized to give you his experience, but it is extensive. You'll know from listening to this person, maybe not in the next 10 minutes he's going to take, but in the trainings that we're going to set up on how to use stock options. And with that, he is an absolute expert. We knew it immediately, and so we want his experience to bring value to our members. Eddie, please say hello to Solaris members.
Hey guys, it's actually a pleasure to be joining you today. I'm actually at a car dealership. My wife has decided that she wants a new vehicle, so she's in settling stuff with her and my kids right now, and I'm joining you guys from the parking lot. So if I'm not coming through clearly, I apologize. Okay. I did happen to sit with Mark and Steve, and we were on a chat the other day. My friend Deborah LaPlante introduced me. I've been in the stock market roughly since 1987, where I began on the American Stock Exchange. First 5 years that I was there, I was a young kid. I left college, and I didn't do much more than get coffee and learn a couple of different things, fetch lunch. After 5 years, I was taken by a company called Susquehanna. Susquehanna is still in the options market today, and they're probably the number one trading company in the whole world. That's where I received my education, and I traded for these people for over 10 years, and then another 10 years with several other groups. And since about 2014, 2015, I've been mostly into education. California, Texas, almost every weekend up until 2020, performing options seminars, basic introduction to class these as financial tools. This is not, like I said to Mark the other day, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's an education. And for me, I shared why this is so personal to me. Back when I decided that I didn't want to be in school anymore, I left and I got a job immediately by just going down to the American Stock Exchange in downtown Manhattan and applying. Sadly, that doesn't exist anymore because everybody's connected by phones, but that's brought a new opportunity. Where people used to have to physically go and trade on the exchanges years ago, that doesn't exist anymore. Everybody connects virtually through their laptops in their living rooms, their own homes. Very few people actually go into an office anymore. So this has really been cool. And what I've done, especially with the education companies that I've worked with, is we've introduced this to what I call common people that don't believe the stock market is for them. Well, that's a big mistake because the stock market is for everybody. And it's very personal to me. I work with children. I work with adults. I always say from 16 to 80, I'm more than happy to work and teach them. And I'm so glad that Mark is going to be allowing me to share my curriculum and my ideas with people. Once again, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is an education on things that professionals use every day. I'm a big believer in this term called non-traditional education, where people can go and pick up a skill working in a workshop, not having to go to a big institution where it costs lots of money. And that's really the whole thing. And that's what I'm about. Obviously, I like to make money like everybody else, and I believe you should be paid for your services. But the company that I used to work for exploited people and used to, in my opinion, used to rip them off. And I'm not about that. I am about education where people don't have to take loans. And once again, where they can help themselves in life.
Well, that was perfect. And Steve asked several questions, and so did I, regarding putting stops on how much if it goes down, because options can be scary if it starts going down. But you can put stops on there. You can also, there's areas where you can play money like Monopoly and try some of the systems that he's going to teach you. And we're going to have a series getting started with Eddie that won't cost anything in Steve's Academy. And then there'll be some other layers of personal touch point from him. But again, as I mentioned, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm not a stock market person, not my lane, but I want to learn about it. Yeah, Steve, go ahead.
Mark, if I could just elaborate. And so how is this going to work? How can people use it? Because stocks can be very scary. For one thing, so imagine this, going into the Silveris Academy, being able to take a free course that is kind of an introductory course into stocks, so you have some basic understanding, and then go into a fundamentals course where you learn, again, some basic strategies, and then you don't have to use your own money. You can go into these different options exchanges and so forth and have a practice account. And so then you can practice using those strategies in the stock market live. Right. And then you can also, what I'm looking at is having more an advanced strategies course where you can get into the covered calls and puts and all this kind of stuff, learn those strategies, practice them, and then imagine being able on a weekly basis, get in a big Zoom group with Eddie and actually going through picking the stocks, putting them into your real account using your own money or into your practice account and doing the tradings live. Like Eddie said, don't think of this as, hey, I'm going to quit my job and do that, although many people do once they get into this. But think of it, if you're just making an extra $250, $500 a month, just trading stocks a few minutes, that's amazing. That is game changing right there, because you're building the confidence, you're learning how to do it, and then you just go, I'm going to duplicate it, right? And my suggestion, and maybe Eddie can elaborate, don't use money that you can't lose initially, right? Because you're going to be practicing.
100%. Yeah, Steve, and there's one thing that you and Mark both have alluded to, and I want to just give this analogy, right? So over 120 years ago, electricity was something that was very dangerous. It was very dangerous to harness, and it was a little scary. I don't think anybody with knowing what they know is afraid of turning their lights on, or is afraid. I mean, when you think about that. So the idea is, once again, understanding enough so you can't get yourself into trouble. And once again, once you understand what not to do, options are not only not scary, they're actually safer than bigger investments. And I'm going to elaborate and talk about that when we get together. I'm going to show people why options are not something to fear, but are something to embrace, as all of us can use them in a different way, as stock owners, as speculators, different things. But the obviously we have to learn. And I'm a big believer in education. But like I tell people, education comes, and it's up to you what you want to put into it. There is an opportunity for everybody after they take a course to go and practice. And what Steve alluded to, that trading accounts come with what they call a virtual or paper account, where it actually mimics the real live stuff, but no money is spent. And that is really cool, because when I first started this in the early 90s, we were practicing on whiteboards and blackboards and papers and different things where they would give you scenarios. But now people can, the technology is so super nowadays that you can actually replicate the stock market in a practice manner. That is awesome. That is really awesome.
Eddie, how appropriate do you think this is for kids?
I actually think people talk about this all the time, that kids don't know how to do checkbooks. They don't know how to do the basic abilities for living. This is huge. And I actually found that in more places where, where there's poverty, or where people don't have, they don't think the stock market is for them. And it's just untrue. I remember being 17 a long time ago, but in the 80s, and one of the guys that was in my class, his dad was associated with the New York Stock Exchange. And we were in a business class, and the teacher actually allowed us to put $20 each into an investment that we actually got $30 back on the end of the year. And it was a big thing. I mean, but this is so cool. And once again, this is not taught in universities. It's not taught at the college level. I mean, you can get an accounting, you could go into accounting or different features in the marketplace, but trading and options trading is not taught, and it really should be. How good do I think this is for kids? I've been introducing option trading and charting to my children since they've been 13 and 12 years old. So it's good enough for my kids.
Hi, Eddie.
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, this is Tony Wilson here. I have a quick question. I came from the financial world myself as a stockbroker. But as you know, cryptocurrency, Forex is in the news. Everyone is interested in that. How do you compare options trading with Forex and, say, cryptocurrency?
First thing I tell people is, once again, you can invest in anything that you want. Options are not something that you can use and say, hey, I'm going to do a call option on this and it's going to get me money. No, these are things that you're already interested on. My problem with the crypto market in general, and I know there's a lot of intelligent people out there that will speak on this, we use a term in options called intrinsic value. Intrinsic is a synonym for real. The problem with most of the cryptocurrencies is there is no intrinsic value. A lot of it is based off of FOMO and different things like that. I am a big believer in blockchain, just like I'm a big believer in the US dollar. The only difference is the U.S. dollar is backed by the financial markets, and it's backed by the government. Crypto, in most cases, is not. So it doesn't surprise me that this thing that happened with the FTX guy, Sam Bankman-Fried, actually happened. I mean, I didn't know it was going to happen in that crypto, but there's so many things that are out there right now that people have just been blindly investing in. I watch CNBC daily, and a guy that I watch and tend to admire is Mr. Wonderful, and he got taken for a lot of money on this deal as well. This happens a lot. A lot of people believe that cryptocurrency is a game changer, and I'm not going to stay here and say it's not. But the problem is, when I talk about options and basic options, when I talk about that, I use a term called intrinsic value. If you can't find intrinsic value in something, it's mostly speculative.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to jump in here. We are so grateful. You know, right after my first meeting with Eddie, I got a notice from my merchant account that he joined Solveras. He's one of us, and he loves to help people. So we're so fortunate that in addition to the trainings, he's available to talk directly with you. It'll be that way for a certain time, but as we grow, it'll be good to have a relationship with Eddie now. I actually got hurt a few years ago. I invested $7,500 in OneCoin. It was a company aspiring to be like Bitcoin. And all the stuff they told us in these videos and all this. And then I built my account up to $242,000, and the government shut them down, and I've lost everything. So I'm really skeptical about it. But anyway, that's my story. Well, Eddie, thank you so much. And you can hang on if you want, or if you take out Christmas shopping, you get a car. Maybe we should do options.
Yeah, my wife likes to have a new ride, and we're a little bit overdue. So my mistake. We were actually Christmas shopping in a place where there's car dealerships. So I put this on myself.
All right. Well, so hang around if you can, or if you have to go, I understand. But I'm going to share my screen. Thank you, Eddie. I know everybody appreciated it.
Eddie, it's awesome meeting you. Thank you very much.
No worries. It's a pleasure, and I look forward to joining you guys. I do have to run back inside, but take care, guys. I'll be with you again. Enjoy.
Well, Eddie, before you go, is he gone?
Yes, I'm still here.
What do you know about this company right here?
What's it called? I can't see it, ma'am. What's the name of it?
It's called Interactive Trader.
Interactive Trader is I used to work for that company. They're called Response. They're based out of Utah. That's the company that I was talking about, that in my opinion charged way too much money. I worked for these people and traveled for them for 5 years across Canada, California. I believe in their education, as the education that I also use is based off of this. Options are not owned by anybody. This knowledge has been out since the 70s. So where I do agree with the way that they used to construct their education, I do not agree with what they charged.
I agree. They charge way too much, but we paid for it, and I did take the course.
Where do you live, ma'am?
I live in Belize.
Oh, wow. Good for you. I never traveled to Belize, but I was across California, Canada, lots of places. Where did you take your class?
Well, probably Washington, and we might have run into it in California. My husband, because we have a house in California and Washington. My husband's in Washington now, and at the time we were also in Oregon, and so I think we ran into it in California.
I actually did some classes in Seattle and Portland. I really enjoyed the Seattle-Portland area, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed traveling across Northern California. And once again, the education that they give is awesome. It's just what they charged was ridiculous. And that's why I do this on my own right now.
Well, good. I'll have to turn my husband on to you. Thank you very much. I wondered if when I came to Belize, I came for just 2 weeks, and that was April of 2018. And I happened to be taking this course at the time and brought this with me. And he was doing it in Washington.
If you guys want, you can actually go on to the response.com website, and under trainers, you can look for Edward Ottinger. I'm still listed as a trainer. I'm still on the website, but I do not do work for them anymore. I haven't done anything with them since 2020, but I am still listed as one of. You can actually look at they have a short biography on me on there, and it tells you basically the same thing that I told you guys.
Well, I believe you.
And we'll have that biography on our website as well. And Carol Sue, you're right. In a couple meetings ago, you said you know so many things. You know everything. Well, you just proved it. All right, thank you both. I'm going to move on here to share my screen, and I'll just keep everybody another 10 minutes or so. So here we go. Thank you,
God bless, guys. Have a great weekend. I got to run. Take care now.
Buy the car. Buy the car.
I think it's going to happen. Take care, guys.
Okay. Yeah, what a delightful addition to the company and knowledge. Okay, here we go. So everybody knows about our solutions. The one thing I just want to point out here is in our senior solution, which is about ready to explode because Bruce Davis, our VP of insurance, had a few things he had to get straight with streamlining, signing up in life insurance people. And we have so many people that have applied for the program, but there was a little bottleneck that he fixed. He said in the next quarter, they'll probably bring on 1,000 insurance agents and tens of thousands of people that are going to use our system in the senior solution. So Bruce, now after the December 7th, his Medicare work was over. So he's taken a 3 or 4 day vacation. And then he has told me that he will be CEO IDEO, and he's just going to explode this thing. So that's kind of exciting what's happening there. I have a couple of things lined up for you here, and this is on our website. Now, when I did my beta test for this for this concept, I exploded. I had hundreds of real estate transactions and people giving loans. It was so exciting, and you probably heard my story about what happened to that company. I wasn't ready. I didn't have the software ready, but I maintained the concept. My mom said, a great way she's passed now, but a great way to make sure that nobody else can use your system is to send yourself a letter, and it'll be post dated, but don't open it. So that's the great way of setting it up so that you can prove that the date that you had your idea or concept. I've done that. But anyway, so reason I want to show this 1 minute video is because like I mentioned, there are 4,000 realtors in Las Vegas. To invite them for free to come to a seminar where they can learn how to capture future market share, regardless of interest rates or trends, they can learn how to get a lot of new clients. Well, they're going to come. And like I mentioned, they're going to come for free. So you want to reach out to people in Las Vegas here very shortly. Well, here you go. I'm gonna put on my sound. There you go. And here it is.
I saw this as an opportunity for the average consumer to earn money and save money. In fact, this is a value-added piece that wasn't available in the old network marketing models. Lenders and realtors can create an inventory for future income. And in the last 2 months, I've written a $410,000 mortgage, a $275,000 mortgage. And with this kind of passive advertising, you can't lose.
I've been a realtor locally here for over 10 years now with Remax Equity Group. And I've received several connector pledges, and these people have agreed to work with me in the future when they ultimately decide to sell their houses. And it's easy because I can work them into the follow-up systems I already do. So with that, plus the fact that they've pledged their future business, it makes it an easy decision for my business.
I was eager to share it with my real estate agent, and so Mac and Mark agreed to meet with Joelle. And during that meeting with Joelle, she got it right away. She was so excited about it that she joined right away. I left that meeting on my way to a meeting with 2 other people. So I'm off to a great start.
Realty. Oh, and since that is on the screen there, I'll elaborate. When we release this matrix on December 31st, then we're going to do several trainings on it so everybody knows how to use it. Let's say that you're bringing a realtor and everybody's at the top of their own 3 by 12 force matrix. Well, you can only have 3 people in your front line. Hopefully you can see this. It says you, a realtor right there. And then let's say you sponsored Bob and Mary, but you didn't sponsor John. Somebody above you did. John spilled over, so spillage into your organization. When he bought the access package, you got paid. When he pays his monthly subscription, you get paid. You don't even know who John is. That's how we help people in this only going 3 wide. But the neat thing is the computer tracks it. Let's say John lives in your state where you're licensed. The computer tracks upline to the first licensed realtor in that state. You just got a new client. We ask you to go out and shake hands, give them a CMA, comparative market analysis, and make sure that they're not paying too much for if they have home mortgage insurance, we can get them off of that. Anyway, it's like a realty advisor, not just an agent for a transaction. We'll go into a lot more of the real estate training here soon. This gentleman has agreed to be a keynote speaker at our event in Las Vegas. And this is actually what Mike has already prepared for the website. So I'm just going to go ahead and play just a little bit of this. Here we go. Oh, and briefly, a next gen REI real estate investing is what he is offering for our members right now. That is, you're going to learn more about the 30X challenge. And Beyond Living is instrumental in helping young people, especially foster kids that age out of foster care. 20% of those live on the street, and 70% of those are incarcerated in 2 years. He's making a difference to those people. Here he comes. This is another great one. This is going to be our other keynote speaker in January. But unfortunately, I will have to reset this to have this. There we go.
Hi there, I'm Keith Eichley, CEO and founder of Next Gen REI and Executive Director of BeyondLiving.org. There has never been a better time than now to start your business with Silveris. Every person should have their own business, not only for the multiple streams of income, but for the tax benefits that owning your own business provides that most people in America miss out on. But it gets even better than that. How do you like the idea of building your own personal portfolio of real estate for generational wealth without having to use your own capital or credit and while helping others at the same time? Because that's exactly what we've done with Beyond Living as part of our social impact real estate investing platform. This is one of the biggest things that has hit the real estate investing industry in the past 20 years, and you get to be part of it right now.
Another solution that we've almost finalized that's coming is the health share. Now, health impact share, it's like life insurance, but it's not. It's even better. And for example, if somebody's on Medicare and they're paying for the supplements of $280 a month, this drops it to $96 a month. If you're a family of four and you're in a higher income bracket because of the Affordable Care Act, your insurance is $2,700 a month. We get it for you for help with health share for $300 a month. This will be on the website before the end of the year.
Mark, it's not like life insurance, it's like health insurance.
Health share.
Health
What
share,
did I say, life? No, did I say life? I apologize. Yes. Okay. So here we go with the presentation that I'm going to do today. Very fun. All right, Bill, can you see my screen? You're muted, but also.
Yes.
Okay. So we are committed. We have everything lined up. It's very exciting. We are going to have on June 2nd, we're going to have our first national convention in Las Vegas. Our target is to have 10,000 people. And on Friday, June 2nd, we'll have a reception. And then on Saturday, it's 9 to noon and 2 to 5. One of the keynote speakers that already put it on his schedule is a gentleman. He's actually a VP of our company. He speaks every Thursday night. He is incredible. If you've missed him, go back in your back office in the archives and watch some of the videos. His TED Talk is also on the website for one of his books, The 7 Daily Acts of Courage. The testimonials that he has, and he is still paid $10,000 a day, flown in by Fortune 100 companies to help the top executives. He'll be speaking at our event. Now you just heard from this gentleman, Keith. What a resume this gentleman has. And when he said you don't have to use your own credit or money for the program, he set aside $100 million to help people invest in these programs that he actually teaches you what to do. He said, Mark, I'm so excited to be there in June in Las Vegas to bring some high energy, excitement, and purpose for people that are with Silveris. And he has spoken and shared the stage with many celebrities and featured on all the news channels. Just a great guy to have on our team. And he's a member of Silveris. And he's going to be building an organization. If you were to go to his website, you would pay for the program he's giving our people $1,500, 3 payments of $500 each. And with the marketing funnels, weekly coaching with him structuring the deal. He's got all the information that you need to make this happen. And then again, he provides the capital for your deal. So another tremendous asset for, all the solutions that we have are just so great. So this is what it's going to look like. If you reach the regional, and these are not hard to do. To become a regional IBO, you just have to sponsor 9 people and help 3 of those get to the district level. When you do that, you receive 5 free passes that you can hand out to people of your team to go to the event. And when I say free, here's what I mean on that, because in my years of experience, they're always with other companies. They're buying products that they don't need, and they're going to these big events that they really can't afford. So we're going to make this extremely affordable, because these events, there's so much synergy, and you leave there not just on a rocket ship, but the motivation is sustainable. So they really do work, and especially having guests there. Reach the VP level, that's just sponsoring 10 people, but then you're invited to the Friday reception. That Friday evening event with hors d'oeuvres and so forth is for VPs and above. So make that happen. We want everybody there. Then you get 10 passes. President, you just sponsor 11 people and help 3 of those become VP, and we are going to pay for your lodging and 15,000. And CEO, reach the top position, and we'll pay for your transportation there as well. And if you don't fly there, and if you're going to drive there, we'll just allocate $500 for your trip. So that's where we are with believing in this event and not having people have to. And if you didn't do any of this, it's only going to be $99 to go to the event. And what you would receive for that is just powerful. And it's really kind of fun too, because on stage with the recognition, Tammy will be our MC at that event. And then there's the other guest speaker we're working on to get is Pat Cantfield. Now I know him personally. I have several pictures of him that I'll be having on the website soon of he and I together. And Keith's partner is best friends with him, and of course Dusty knows him also. So hopefully we'll get him there as well. Very exciting. He's really fun to listen to. Now I'm just going to go through a quick little training part of it. And remember, no selling, no convincing. There's so much value to what we have. You just have to take people through a process. If I send to you, hey, I have a 7 Series BMW worth $100,000. If you come up with $2,500 before the end of the day, it's yours. Well, you automatically know the value is there, so you do it. But there's no barrier of entry with this organization. It's $157.95. Now, and the $19.95 a month. First of the year, it's going to go to $189.29 a month. We're not taking any of that extra money. That goes to feed commissions in the matrix that we're releasing. So it's the value is there. You can do this business part-time or full-time or big time, but you can't do it sometime. Just a little something every day if you're consistent. What that rolls over into is duplication. And you want to be doing what you want your team to be doing, because when you lead by example, if you just sit back and manage your people because you're making 10 grand a month, that's what your people are going to do. So leading by example, they're going to do what you do. And the duplication part of it, we have a system. We have a system you just take people through. All of our solutions are either unique, exclusive, or the best value. And then somebody says, what is Silveris? You just say, Silveris is a membership with solutions. When you're analyzing a company, it's really simple. You look at the company. Well, our company is debt-free and capitalized. You look at the people making the decisions. I've already mentioned all the officers are faith-based and family people, and we're all good friends. And the service, our service, it's a digital solutions. And this is what's neat about this too, is opening up other countries. In the last 2 days, I've had Zoom calls with different people from the Philippines, Nigeria, Ghana, and they've already joined. They have already joined. So Micah is looking into exactly what we can do with corporate papers and presenting compensation plan to these countries. We're opening them up. And here's something I've offered these people that have all come on board in those 3 different countries. I offer them overrides for helping us develop local solutions. Let me explain. Right now, of our 12 solutions, about 3 of them they can use in those. You could build a business with any one of them. So they're coming on board and they're going to start recruiting. But I told them to go out and help me analyze our solutions, help me find 5 solutions similar in your country that are local, and they'll have an override for doing that. So we can open, somebody in another country, get them on a Zoom with me. I usually go into some detail here. We're running a little low on time, but this is some of our members are saving 500 here, 1,000 there. And some of the companies that use our HealthWorks program, the PGA Tour, the Missouri School District uses it. Our prices on RX are better than good RX. How hard would this be to do in the next couple weeks? If to get 4 people to join, you have to take about 10 people through the process, and you'll earn $800 before the end of the year. Executive bonus. Nobody does this. We're actually paying out more money that comes into the company that we're paying out more that comes into the company. As you hit these leadership levels, there's additional bonuses. These 4 top spots in the matrix when we release it on December 31st, you want to be in one of these 4 if you can. Become a CEO. Go out and do the work now. And remember, the spillage, there's additional residual income here as well. But anybody that knows about Silveris in the next year is going to be so close to the top of this company matrix when we have hundreds of thousands of people. So many matrices are going to fill up. But you want to do something about this now. When you get into this, you get excited about it. You start making 1,000 or more a month, which some of our people are doing already. But when you get to a point, you can't really see making 10 or 15,000 a month right now. When you make 5 or 6, you can start seeing that. You start believing it. There's that saying, "I believe it when I see it." But our philosophy is you'll see it because you believe it, and you know that this is your vehicle and your time. So what I don't want people to do is look back. Okay, I knew about Silveris, but I didn't do anything about it. What I'm going to do now is stop the recording, but we can stick around for questions. And
recording stopped.
I see pretty much everybody stayed with it, and we went a little long today. But I'm going to have some water. If anybody has any questions or anything, I'd love to help.
Yeah, Mark, if I could answer a question that Jane had, and I'm going to share my screen again. As far as how for the options course, how members are going to get paid out of that. The options course, we're looking at putting in the Silveris Academy here. All right. And so when you refer somebody over to this page, it'll be tagged with your sponsor number and name, and any of the courses that they purchase in this academy, you'll get credit for. If they purchase, say, Dusty's Journey to Power, and then they turn around and they want to take the next course, Journey to Fulfillment, then you'll get credit for that and get paid for that. So the options program will be the same thing. If people sign up for the fundamentals course, you'll get paid for that. If they sign up for the Trade With Me program, where maybe weekly they're meeting with Eddie and they're doing live trades, and there's a monthly subscription for that, you'll get paid a piece of that. Mark, I'll let you elaborate on that if I missed something.
Sure. And one thing I told Eddie, like I do with everybody, that I don't really negotiate with these vendors, but I tell them our philosophy is you need to get it for far less expensive through Silveris. And that's the attrition goes way down when people realize that, and when they do the comparison. For example, I'll get to your point, Steve, in a minute. But for example, the Now side, if you were to go there, you pay about $50 a month for 100 leads a month, and with our company, you get it for free. I negotiated a deal. It only cost me $19. I've known him for years, and I'm actually investing quite a bit in our people using this system. So back to Eddie. So I said, Eddie, here's what we need. And actually, it was Steve's idea to start with a free course first, get everybody excited about it and wanting to invest a little money if they want to do it. And the whole thing with, and Carol's still talking, I'll have you come up just a second. The whole thing is that with our company, Silveris takes about 30%. And the procuring person, like in Keysteel, for example, it's $195 right now. Keith is only taking $50. He's losing money on it. He gets $1,500 daily on his site, but he did that for the Silveris people, and that's for a limited time, by the way. It won't go up that much more, but that's a limited time. Well, Keith gets 50. We get about 30 or 40. The person that sells that program gets $50, and then the balance of it, which is the majority, is paid 12 levels deep throughout the unilevel and the matrix. So with every solution, including Eddie's, it's commissionable. The only one that's not commissionable is the RX, the medications. Carol Sue, you have your hand up. Did you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question. On the medical, you say it's like health insurance. Is it like health insurance or is it health insurance?
It is
Can
not
it
at all.
replace
It
somebody's health insurance who is young, like 40 years old, and complaining that their insurance is like 300 and something a month per person, and they don't get their services that they
Right.
need?
Yeah. Okay. It's health share, and the way that works is all the money goes into a fund, and at the end of the year, what they didn't pay out to help all the members is actually given back to the member that's in the system. I don't have the knowledge yet to present it or to answer really questions about it, but a lot of the officers have been on a couple of Zooms with Patrick, and he is phenomenal. We will have videos about it. When you listen to him for 5 minutes, and you will want this. It is unbelievable. Again, I can't give you the details yet. I was a little premature in that, but it'll be on the website.
Well, I have free
On that,
medical,
for-
so I don't
for-
know that I would, but I have somebody in mind, so I would like to put them together.
Exactly.
So it acts like health insurance for the consumer, but technically the definitions are different. So health insurance is one thing, health share is another thing. But for the consumer, you show up with your card, you give the card, and you pay a deductible, and then the health share company pays the remaining.
Yeah. From what I understand, it's pretty much the same, but it's like 30 to 70% less because it's a sharing philosophy. They're putting the profits back towards the people.
And the negotiation, when all you do is show them that card, and then Health Impact Share will negotiate with the hospital. He was showing us these incredible bills with regular going through life insurance that is paid. But then when this company goes in and negotiates, because they have all the experience and the leverage, it comes out like 20% of what it would have been if they used their health insurance.
Carol Sue, I had a conversation about this with Cammie this week, and she was telling me, we were discussing like how many people are self-employed and they can't afford their health insurance, and she said, whatever they're paying now, this is going to be half, at least half. And what impact, how many people just go without having insurance? And they're just going without it. And also when I understand that it covers you in every single state. So a lot of the plans that we have, you're traveling, like, you get on a plane and you go to Vegas to the convention, you fall, you may not be covered, but I understand that this plan covers you everywhere in the United States.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
A lot of doctors are on the list, but are not on the list that you have to use. So you may not have the health insurance when you're traveling, but it's actually less than 50%. Deborah, the examples he gave us were far, in fact, his own personal experience. If he was paying $2,700 for a family of 4, it went down to $300. That's $2,700. It's a great.
Yeah, I think there's a 700.
This is going to be amazing. What an opportunity, really.
Yeah, people are going to join just for this. Not to mention what Bruce is doing in the life insurance arena. When we release this real estate program, when people come in, they use our connector pledge. So they have 30 days to either get their own realtor, recruit them into Silveris, or we assign them one. We're going to have so many thousands of realtors joining after the first of the year. And let's say we have a member that comes in that's in Houston. We don't have a realtor in Houston. Say we accumulate a couple of them. So then I'll reach out to some people that are in the level of ranks, and I'll say, okay, hey, Carol Sue, well, you're not going to be really doing the business part of it. Let's say I call Deborah. I say, Deborah, we have 10 members of Silveris that are in Houston. We don't have a realtor to be their realty advisor. People go on a realtor and pay 6% for a transaction, but our concept change in this is pay far less for years of ongoing service, a realty advisor. So, Deborah, this might be pretty easy for you to do. Reach out to a realtor and tell them you have a 10 client. Would they be interested? That's going to happen almost daily in the next 6 months. What we have planned is just exhilarating, really fun.
And what I want to know is, how do you reach out to a realtor? I mean, that's how you reach out to people to reach out to realtors. But I was going to bring on 2 realtors this morning, but it was raining so loudly that I couldn't even talk to them. And that's out of Palm Springs.
Yeah. Right now, we're small enough that I can talk to them or Bo can talk to them. So just set up a 3-way call with Bo or myself, or a Zoom with both of us. A Zoom with both of us. They both join.
And I've been trying to get to you, but I wanted to do a call with my husband, and we haven't been able to all get together when it's not raining. It's been raining every day, so it makes it really hard.
Who wants to go to Belize now? Deborah, you have something you
Actually, it's still warm. It's still beautiful.
Deborah?
The water's like glass.
Yeah.
No, when you mentioned the agents out in Palm Springs, I see Sam's face here. He's out in California, Barb, and what a great way for all of us to, really bring more people into Silveris.
Yeah, it's really going to be fun. It is fun already. Anybody have everything else? I want to let you get back to your Saturday, but boy, this is.
No, Sherlock has a question.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Sherlock. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This is a question for you, particularly Mark, as a chess grandmaster yourself. I want to use an analogy. So, you have different openings. You have the Ruy Lopez opening, and you have a Sicilian. And most people, including myself, I use the Ruy Lopez because it's very simple and very safe. With respect to this business, and in terms of my appropriating the analogy, there are so many solutions to choose from. So, for example, I am seeing what my opening game should be like. And so this is why I want to speak to Steve around the AI prospecting, because that seems very powerful. If I can get 100 prospects and actually meticulously know how to reach them in selective ways, to know who I want to talk to, their interests, and these kind of variables, then like in a game of chess, it says never move a bishop until you move your knight and control the center and all that kind of basic fundamental. I think we need to establish some fundamentals here as to a solution to the approach. A solution, because there's so many variables. I'm having some kind of orgasmic feelings about so many things. And I'm wondering if there could be some thought insofar as how we approach the solutions to the solutions.
Sure. All right. And I can take that and I'll give you back a chess analogy. I played every day, probably played too much. My grandson was sitting on my son. I'm teaching my grandsons how to play, and they're 4 and 5. It's really fun. But anyway, so I'll get to specifically that with one chess analogy first. This business that we're in, when you start bringing people in, it's a chess game. When you make a move towards them, wait till they make a move towards you. You can't do it for somebody. You can't drag them across the finish line. You can't want this for them more than themselves. So when you have a new person, they might tell you about 5 different prospects that have all the potential in the world. Oh, this person would be great. They know everybody. This person's a realtor, life insurance. All of that just means they're not doing anything. It's all based on results. And in fact, in the last Thursday night, I had a shift. I had a real shift in the way I see things. I'll get to your point. I had a real shift at what Dusty did for me. Instead of looking at success, I would rather be significant. I told him that he was talking about what would you, if just one thing you could hear somebody say at your eulogy. And mine used to be, I'd like somebody to say, hey, well, Mark made me laugh. Because I have a quick wit and I can make people laugh. Well, but that has shifted now. I want people to say that Mark was significant, not successful, but made a difference in people's lives. That just one takeaway that I learned from being in this company, Silveris, that's one of my eulogy. Okay, let's get back to pinpoint your question. Your question is the chess game and how we would use this on which solution to present. I'll tell you what, I don't want to complicate that. So what I would just share with somebody, tell them it's like a buffet. You sit down and you go up to the buffet and there's all these different trays. Well, we have all these different solutions. You might take some fish or our solar solution and take it back to your table. If that's your interest, then do that. And then you can go back up and try another solution. Talk to some people, get some testimonials about it. So instead of you guiding them down a path that you're not sure of what their interests are, say, please go to the website, take a look at the solutions, and tell me which one you'd like to talk about first. So that's what I would do there.
Well, I'll add to it, Mark. When someone asks me to do a 3-way call, I want to know about that person a little bit because I'll tailor my talk to them around the solutions that I think that are best for them, that'll interest them the most. And
regarding 3-way calls, Alan's calling me every day for a couple of 3-way calls, like so many people, and I'm doing Zooms on the hour. It's a chess game. You make a move towards somebody you've run in the company, and if they make a move back, you have somebody serious. What you want to do is get that person some early success. get them earning $300 to $500, and they're not going to let go. Yeah, regarding three-way calls, they are imperative. I remember when I was traveling the country as a trainer, speaker, blah, 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 I would ask, who in the audience is making over $10,000 a month? And it would be only the leader standing in the back. It's a standing room only. And I would say, who's doing three-way calls every day? And it was the same people. It's that third-party credibility. So put these officers to work for you.
Got it.
All right. Should we get on with our Saturday, everybody?
No. Somebody had suggested that we stay on, but I would love to do that, but I didn't know if you pay just for a certain amount of time on Zoom.
No, I pay for Zoom. You can stay as long as you want.
Okay, because otherwise I have meet-in, and I was going to invite people. They can come to my meet-in, and we can all chat. Sure. I find that chatting afterwards is probably the most valuable part, where we meet each other and really create heart connections. And it's pretty amazing, because then we end up helping each other. And I think that's more teamwork. Yeah, and I am also a chess player. I mean, a serious chess player. And so thank you for that analogy. And I say that chess is, the secret really is you wait till the other person screws up.
Well, right? The biggest way that they screw up is taking too long. Because I can play 10-minute games, and if you take too long on your moves, you're done.
I disagree with you 100%, because I actually 100%. Because in actually, I take a long time, like a half an hour. The longer I take, the better I am, because I do more moves in advance, like up to 8 moves in advance, sure. So that I know what's, I know the whole thing. Yeah, so I personally, I played the other way. I have played 10-second chess a lot, and maybe the only time I won against my teacher.
10 minutes. Yeah, I played 10-minute games. You don't have a half hour to think. Go ahead, Sherlock.
Samuel Lascaux made a very interesting point. He said, when you're playing chess and you see a good move, he says, never make a good move unless and until you see a better move. And I would like to appropriate that here in this context.
Well, what I'd like you guys to do is to go to chess.com and register and add me. My name there is Oregon Mark. Oregon Mark. Now, Oregon Mark. When I would go to these places and play chess, and at these places I was ranked about 1,500. If you can get to over 2,000, you can make a living coaching chess. The highest is 2,400. So I'm not great, but I'm good, and I am fast. So go there, and Lissy and I, whoever likes to play chess, believe me, I play every day. So I'd love to play
Mark,
every day. I'll go. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, Tony here. I'm registered in chess.com. I have about a 1,700 rating, so I look forward to playing with you.
Oh my gosh, I'll do my best, but you'll beat me. What's your handle?
Just Tony W.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, this is one person I'm going to play that I'm not going to be telling everybody the outcome.
Well,
I'm going to go. I'm excited. I just put it out there. I wanted something new. This will be it.
Yeah, really fun. Right now, I hover between 1,350 and 1,400. If I have a good run. Nobody wants to hear about my chess. Okay, we'll have some fun with the chess.
I do.
But,
so I want to say one more thing before we get all messed up here. The meeting next Tuesday. What's that going to be about?
Sure. I'm going to have. I'm going to have. I haven't asked him yet, but I know he'll do it. Keith is going to be on. We're going to have him on the website on Monday. I'm going to send a newsletter out to go check this out and come meet him Tuesday night. Okay, so you're going to want to be there next, and then the following Tuesday, we're going to have somebody on regarding the impact share, or the health program. So it's just going to be a whirlwind. And then get ready, you guys, because when we have the new look of the website, that design is going to match the compensation plan part. If you go to our website right now and click on compensation plan, you'll see the color scheme and the flow of what their actual website is going to look like. I've seen it. It is phenomenal. So when we do this, we hit this thing in January with the realtors and heading up to the event. Get ready. It's the calm before the storm. Now, regarding going over an hour, They say that after an hour, you lose people's concentration and they only retain about 3% of what you say. Now, I realize in dialogue, that is probably not the case. It's probably much higher. But I do like to keep them to an hour. But we are going to have on January 7th, Bo is lining up a much longer day that'll include guest speakers, training, interaction, and so forth. So January 7th is going to be a big day. Now with that, I'm going to bring this to a delightful crescendo. I'm a musician too. You probably don't know that.
Well, one more thing. Every Saturday from now on is going to run a little longer because we're going to go a little deeper. So I want, and the Saturday that I call a Super Saturday, which will be January 7th, right after we launch, is going to be a massive Saturday. So kind of put that in your schedule. And I think like what Carol says, you know, we actually get a lot out of these talks after the main presentation.
Here's a direct analogy to music and what we get out of these talks. If you have a barbershop quartet of 4 excellent singers, they harmonize, they go back and forth, they're just absolutely beautiful. But to the trained ear, you can hear a 5th voice from these 4 voices. That overtone is what happens here. When we're brainstorming and doing this, things happen because of the energy of this tremendous group. Now with that, I'll see you Tuesday. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Are you letting us stay or are you closing the room?
Well, I'll tell you what. I haven't thought about that yet. I'm closing the room, but Carol Sulish and I talk about that.
Okay, then if people want to come join me in mine, I put it in the chat, and it's just meetintheand.com/angel hair, and it'll bring you right into my.
Say it again, Carl.
Well, I put it in the chat. It is meet MEET and the letter N.com, meetin.com/angel hair.
Where is your colorful hair today?
The green one or the blue one?
The green one. Yeah, okay, I'm taking off. Join Carol Sue. She's an angel, and she does know everything. She knows everything we know and a lot more. She's forgot more than I know. All right, have a great day, everybody. Bye.